Hi guys, welcome back to The In-Between. My name is Mari. So good to have you here. Let's get into the video. So as seen in the caption, we're going to be talking about why social media makes us feel like we're failing. I feel like in this generation, everything is so perfectly curated. We have our morning routine, get readies with me, a day in my life as a blank, blankety blank. Yeah, that's cool, that's great. People do that all the time. I love that. But with so many routines and expectations of where you should be in your 20s, it can be really hard to not be hard on yourself and compare yourself to people. I think something that I've learned being someone that's in my 20s is that I don't have it all figured out, and it's okay to not have it all figured out. I've wasted a lot of my time comparing myself to other people and feeling like I had to make my journey look exactly like X, Y, and Z person, or if I wasn't to this specific point in my life by a certain age that I was a failure. And honestly, that's not true at all. We all have our own lives and we all have our own journeys and we all have things that are going to be specific for us in our life path. Honestly, that's not always realistic to everybody else. With the way that society is run today, there's so much expectation and pressure to have it all figured out by 25, quit your 9 to 5 to work as an entrepreneur. And yes, that's great. Yeah, if those are your goals, if that's what you want to do in life, then great. Do what you can to achieve that, you know? But I feel like for a majority of us, we have struggles. Maybe some of us are struggling with our mental health, some of us are struggling with our physical health, some of us have kids and families. It's not feasible for everybody. The expectation when you're young to have your whole career figured out 5 years from when you're 20. Honestly, it's okay to take time to find who you are. It's okay to slow down a little bit and discover what you like and what you don't like, what career you think is suitable for you and what you don't want to do. It's okay to not go to college. It's okay to not want to go to college. It's okay if you join a trade. Like, you don't have to listen to society's expectations of what you should be and where you should be by a certain time. The only person who gets to dictate that is you. It's really important to have an identity built within yourself before you try to go create a whole life. If you don't know who you are, you're not going to know what to base the rest of your life on. Identity is a really, really big piece of adulting. It's a foundational core and pillar of what's going to set you up for the rest of your life. Because if I don't know who I am, how do I know what I'm going to want to do? That being said, I feel like a lot of us are very emotionally exhausted. Just all around the economy, everything is so expensive. And there's so much pressure constantly in our ears telling us you should be here, you should be here. Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? And yet every single thing that you do right seems to still be wrong in some way. You can't base your life and your happiness on other people's perceptions. And the crazy thing is that all of these are perceptions. People's get ready with me, all of these people's routines are adhesive and adjusted for them and their lifestyles. It's great to have an example and motivation to follow behind, but it's also okay to create your own routine and have your own lifestyle and your own things that you do outside of what society says. I really want to ask the question, what defines failure and what defines success? To me, you're not a failure unless you stop trying. I'm not a failure until I completely stop trying and I give up and I don't do anything else. That is the definition of a failure. As long as you're consistently trying, you're not failing. You're making efforts, you're making progress. Something that my youth pastor used to tell me is progress over perfection. That stuck with me into my adulthood. It's not about being perfect, it's about making measurable steps to a certain point of where you want to be, looking towards the future. What defines success and who gets to define that for you? And that's a question that I've had to ask myself. What does success look like to me? Who am I? Like, what do I like to do? What makes up Mari? That's a question that you should all be asking yourself too. What makes up the core of who I am? What hobbies do I like? What places do I like to go? What makes me feel good? What doesn't make me feel good? What do I want to allow in my space? What do I not want to allow in my space? Where do I see myself in the future? What kind of environment do I need to cultivate within myself to get to that place? And finding those things out and discovering yourself is a beautiful thing, honestly. If you're single right now, please take that time. Please take that time to discover yourself. Solo dates, travel, read, journal, write, explore yourself. Please find things that you love that make you feel alive. Full-fledge yourself into those things. Find something that you're passionate about and give your all to that and cultivate that. Watch how it's going to make you grow and all of the world of opportunities that it's going to open up for you. One thing that I wish that I would have done, I wish that I would have taken more time as an individual to really discover myself and find out all these things before trying to jump into a relationship. If I had done that, I think that I would have been more at peace with myself. I think it's harder to figure out who you are and find individuality instead of a relationship. Of course you can. I think it's more difficult when you have another person to worry about versus only being responsible for yourself. You can create an absolutely beautiful life for yourself. It doesn't have to fall under any category of what anybody says or what anybody thinks. And that's the beautiful thing about individuality and uniqueness. You're individual. You as a person are an individual with an individual life, and you can make up anything that you want within that sphere. That is such a gift. That is such a beautiful, beautiful gift that we've been given to be able to create life in whatever capacity that we want for ourselves and have a purpose and have a responsibility to cultivate here on this earth. That's such a blessing. I just want to kind of take the yoke off your shoulders a little bit. Just remind you that like it's okay to not feel like you fit into a box. I felt like a black sheep my whole life and I've never really fit in anywhere. Honestly, the older that I get, the more grateful I am that I'm not like everybody else. Don't have all the hobbies and the common interests that everybody else has. Why would you want to be like everybody else anyways? There's something to be said about how beautiful it is to have individuality in a world that looks like copy paste creations. I just want to encourage you, if you felt like a black sheep or an outcast or like you don't fit in, maybe that's the best thing that could have happened to you. Because when you look around in the world, you see people obsessing over materialism, the next Gucci bag or the Kardashians or Love Island, all these stupid, meaningless material things that we completely immerse ourselves in to distract us from what's going on around us, and how many things there actually are going on in the world that is being pushed to silence our own critical thinking skills and make us numb to reality. Honestly, like, we gotta wake up. We gotta see these things. We gotta see what's happening and realize that these are specifically curated agendas to make us forget about what's going on and how we feel about things. They don't want us to think for ourselves. The world does not want us to have our own thoughts and opinions. It wants us to follow agendas. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be anywhere near that way of living. Because at the end of the day, life is gonna end. We're all gonna die. This world was not designed for us to go off on our own way and make a path for other people to follow. This world was specifically designed and curated to be part of a race, follow after the leader, and to not have any opinions that go against the agenda of our society. If you've seen the pattern in today's world, the minute that we have an opinion that opposes something like, I don't know, the government or things going on with society in general, it's kind of getting into a little bit more of controversial topics, so I'm not going to go super far into this. The minute that we have an opposing opinion by an authority above us, it's taken as a threat. And all I gotta say is, don't be afraid to go against the grain. Allow yourself to create a path for yourself and your family and your future generations, whatever that looks like for you. In today's world, we need more leaders. We need more strong men who are willing to provide and protect. We need more women who are willing to be nurturers and caregivers and supportive. I just want to end this video by saying everybody has their own path in life. Everybody has their own journey that they're going to take. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't put so many expectations on yourself to have it all figured out. Especially if you're in your 20s, this is the time of your life that you should be finding who you are, finding what you like and what you don't, so that you can have the knowledge of what you want to do with the rest of your life. And it's okay to not be locked into one career. You can have multiple different things that you do to make income, or multiple different things that you like, and multiple different ways that you want to reach people. There's not one size fits all for life. There's not one size fits all for what you have to do. There's not one specific path that you're destined to take versus another. And find all the missing pieces along the way. That's kind of what life is for. And have fun while you're doing it. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the path that life is to finding out the things that you want to do, and do them. And do them with excitement and passion. But don't waste your life and waste your time comparing yourself to other people. There is no race. So I just want to leave you guys with that. Hopefully you feel encouraged. Peace out. God bless you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.